On the 16th of June 2022, 52-year-old Jade Babcock was sentenced to 30 years in prison for murdering his 39-year-old girlfriend Brenda Lee Jacobs on the 27th of December 2003. Brenda's sister reported Brenda missing to the Pennsylvania State Police on the 21st of March 2013 and said her family had not heard from her since December of 2003. While speaking with the family, detectives learned that Brenda's parents kicked her out of the house because she was using drugs and alcohol, so she moved in with Jade. On the 11th of May 2019, the authorities responded to the Susquehanna River in Williamsport when a fisherman found a pair of mummified legs that had been cut below the knee along the banks of a river. The feet were clad in white socks and the nails were painted pink. A pathologist determined that the legs had been kept away from weather, scavengers and insects. Months later, in September of 2019, the authorities received a tip that led them to believe that Brenda's body was in a storage unit in Philadelphia. One of Jade's estranged girlfriends told the investigators that she saw Brenda's body in a coal bin. She reportedly said that Jade removed the body from the coal bin, placed it into a wooden box, and moved the box into a storage unit in Philadelphia in April of 2019. The body needed to be moved because the property was being sold. Detectives obtained a search warrant for Jade's storage unit and discovered Brenda's mummified remains on the 16th of September 2019, and Jade was arrested the following day. Jade told investigators that he and Brenda were in the home they shared along Jordan Avenue in Montoursville, Pennsylvania on the 27th of December 2003 and called her death an accident. He said that he and Brenda were drunk and both had lost their jobs and they had been arguing over finances. He lost his temper and slapped Brenda, causing her nose to bleed. She threatened to call police, which enraged him, so he punched her and she fell to the floor. He said it shook her, but she would not get up. He said he then wrapped her in a comforter and placed her body in a closet for several months. He said that when the weather got warm, he moved the body to a coal bin in the barn at the rear of the property. He said he got a hacksaw and removed Brenda's legs to fit her body into a wooden box, before taking her body to a storage facility. On the 19th of April 2019, he disposed of the legs by putting them in a bag and tossing them off Maynard Street Bridge in Williamsport and into the Susquehanna River. He was expecting the bag to become waterlogged and sink to the bottom. A forensic pathologist determined that Brenda suffered from bleeding on the brain when she died. However, marks, bruises and other injuries were gone due to decomposition and mummification. Jade pleaded guilty to a murder and will spend the next 3 decades in prison. 39-year-old Daniel Beals and his living girlfriend 32-year-old Hillary West have been arrested and charged with selling meth in the basement of his mother's home. At around 5 p.m. on the 9th of June 2022, the authorities executed a search warrant on the home, located on Leewood Point in Hendersonville, Tennessee on the Indian Lake Peninsula. During the search, investigators found approximately 108 grams of meth, digital scales, empty baggies and cash in the basement bedroom area of the home. Daniel and Hillary were also found in the basement bedroom area during the raid, where both claimed ownership of the drugs and cash and were arrested and taken into custody. The authorities said that the drugs the couple were in possession of equated to around about 432 hits of meth, estimating that each hit lasts for about 10 hours. This would have one person continuously high for approximately 180 days straight. If both parties were to use this amount of meth, both people would be continuously high for about 90 days straight. The authorities believe they were instead selling the drug. The couple were charged with selling meth and possession of drug paraphernalia. They're held at the Sumner County Jail, each on a $100,000 bond. They face between 8 to 30 years in prison. 57-year-old Michael Klein has been charged with fatally stabbing 64-year-old Louis Vetro after admitting to half a dozen people that he did it. The events came to light at around 5:41 p.m. on the 7th of June 2022 when the authorities responded to the area of Long Neck Road and Banks Road in Millsboro, Delaware, to report of a deceased man found on the Baywood Golf Course property. When the authorities arrived at the crime scene, they found the man had been stabbed multiple times in the chest and neck. The body had been laying there for several days before anyone discovered it and was covered in a tarp beneath a tree. Upon further investigation, detectives identified the victim as Louis and Michael as the suspect. The authorities discovered that a few days prior to Lewis's body being found, Michael told a male acquaintance that he killed a man in the Loch Neck area near a golf course and stabbed the victim multiple times before placing him under a tree. The acquaintance then went on to say that Michael went by the nickname Skinhead M. Klein and that he had a large pocket knife and blood on his shorts. Michael told the acquaintance's mother a similar story and later that night he told his girlfriend. Still, the acquaintance didn't believe that Michael had really killed someone. Later that night, Michael got a ride to his mother's home, where he was arrested on breach of release charge related to a previous detainment. After his arrest, Michael told paramedics, correctional officers, and staff where he knew a dead body was in Long Neck. It was several days before the acquaintance's conscience got the better of him, and he went to the area Michael described. There he found the body and called 911. On the 13th of June, Michael told the police of the location of the body, but didn't admit to killing the man. When the authorities questioned Michael, he told the investigators that he witnessed 2 black people stab Lewis 5 times as he hid in the bushes. Michael told the police the location of the body, but didn't admit to killing the man. He never said he got within 15 feet of the body. However, Lewis's DNA was found on the bloodstains on Michael's shoes. On the 16th of June, Michael was still in jail for the unrelated breach of release charge, and additionally charged with first-degree murder and possession of a deadly weapon during a commission of a felony. Michael remains held at the Sussex Correctional Institution on a $1,060,000 bond. The motive of the attack is unclear,